Hello, everyone. Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. On this video, I'll be doing a review for Halloween Ends, the last in the movies of Michael Myers and Laurie Strode. So, before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about some of the aspects of the movie. So, the movie's now released; it's available now to watch on Peacock, and you can also watch it in theaters. So, feel free to make it a night at home, make it a night in the theater. Uh, this movie is rated R with a runtime of an hour and 51 minutes, which, boy, I'll get into it, but it's a long movie. Rotten Tomato score, as of now, the critics 45% with an audience score of 60%. I feel the audience score is still a little too high, but we'll talk about that more in a minute. In this movie, the saga of Michael Myers and Laurie Strode comes to a spine-chilling climax in this final installment of this trilogy. This is Laurie Strode's last stand after 45 years. The most acclaimed, revered horror franchise in the film reaches its epic, terrifying conclusion as Laurie Strode faces off for the last time against the embodiment of evil Michael Myers in a final confrontation unlike any captured on screen before. I don't know about all that. Only one of them will survive. This is directed by David Gordon Green, written by Paul Brad Logan, with characters based on the work of John Carpenter and Deborah Hill. Um, so yeah, I mean, look, I I really liked the Halloween 2018 movie, and of course the original. It's a magnificent film. I was not a big fan of Halloween Kills. I am also not a big fan of Halloween Ends, unfortunately. But let's talk a little bit about the cast first, and we'll get into what I did not like about this movie. Jamie Lee Curtis returns as Laurie Strode. Probably, I think it's one of the longest uh, actors playing the same character over the longest span of time. We have Andy Matichak as Allison, Rowan Campbell as Corey Cunningham, Will Patton as Officer Hawkins, and then as the Shape we have both Nick Castle and James Jude Courtney. Um, uh, so uh, yeah, I have a few. I'll start with the negative because you guys know I for the most part I don't like to crap on stuff because I know I've seen people like this film and I get it. I have liked other films that people don't like, and I am completely baffled, or they're completely baffled as to why I like a thing. So I'm definitely not gonna rain on anyone's parade. I'm just gonna tell you why I didn't like the movie, and then you can make your own choice. Based on all the information, all the stuff you see online, all that. First of all, this movie promises a confrontation between Michael Myers and Laurie Strode, and that's kind of what I went into. This movie doesn't deliver that until like two-thirds into it, which is insane for a movie that's almost 2 hours long. It's crazy. I think, and this suffers from the same thing that Halloween kills falter for me, that they try to pad the story with another story about stuff that we don't really. You could care about it probably if you're a new member of the audience and you're intrigued with that storyline, but me just wanting to know the Halloween conclusion, like no. And maybe that's too nitpicky. Maybe that's not the right way to approach film. But yeah, I mean, we don't see enough Jamie Lee Curtis for my taste. We're introduced to this new character, Corey Cunningham, which I will say I like the cold open of this movie a lot. I thought it was really interesting setup. I didn't know where they were going with it. Unfortunately, they didn't go to a place where I really enjoyed it. But just that cold open, I think that's really interesting, really fun. Of course, uh, I I almost feel like I can't even talk about the music because this feels like cheating, right? John Carpenter gave us a banger of a score back in the 70s, and the fact that they just kind of have been using that a little, reusing that throughout all these films, like I like it because it's the score that I like, not because I think they're using it correctly all the time in this film. Also, the editing is really weird. I feel like they're going for a lot of edits that cause you like unease and disgust. Like they'll go from one thing that's kind of gross into a thing that's more normal. Like there's a whole thing with blood and then spaghetti right in the next shot. I don't know, it feels weird, it feels cheap to me. I was not a big fan of it. The pacing of this movie is all over the place because they keep cutting back and forth between storylines, and I really feel, I think if you grab Halloween Kills and you grab Halloween Ends and you took out all the stuff that's not like that's only laterally related to Michael Myers and Laurie Strode, and you took all that out, and then you squished these two movies together, I think it'd be a better film. Obviously, there had to be some changes to the story, but yeah, I just remember seeing that they actually chose to stretch this out into three films, and it feels weird. I don't think it was the right move. So yeah, I was not very pleased with this. If you're a Halloween fan, probably I almost feel like you have to watch this to make up your mind because this is kind of like the end for now. So you can make up your own mind there. Um, the kills were still a lot of fun because I think that's something that in this movie and Halloween Kills, they always got right. The kills, the like all that stuff, very interesting, very cool. It was just all the other like the story part of it that I didn't vibe with. So if you want to just go see some cool kills, now be mindful. Like I said, this is an hour and 50 minutes. So I'm glad I watched it at home. I would have been a lot more upset, I think, had I gone to the theater. But the fact that I was watching at home on Peacock and I was able to pause in the middle of the movie, go take a break, get a snack, and come back, that kind of refreshed my viewing of it. And then by the time I came back for the second half, which is the half that I enjoyed more, than but I think overall, yeah, this was not it for me. Unfortunately, that's a shame. But I can always go back to watch which is weird. I like all three movies that are named Halloween. I really like, right? The original from the 70s. I even like the Rob Zombie version, which a lot of people don't. So, like I said, I don't want to stop anyone from going to watch this movie if they really want to watch this movie, or anybody that likes this movie. Like I like the Rob Zombie Halloween, and people don't. So like it's that. So all three movies named Halloween I really like. Now as far as these two latter ones, it does. This makes me want to go watch more of the other Halloween sequels, like some of the older ones, because I've never seen a lot of those. Like I've only seen the original Halloween, and then the Rob Zombie ones, and then these new ones. So I've never seen all the other ones. Maybe I'll have a better time watching those sequels. But it is what it is. Like I said, I'm not too upset. I only spent 2 hours watching this movie, and really, other than that, I already have a Peacock subscription, so it's not like I paid for an extra for it. But let me know what you thought of this movie. Like I said, we try to stay positive in the channel, but this was just not it. And as always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And stay tuned because we have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.